Hey everyone, Simon here, and I am in the mood to show off features in the upcoming Harmonia version 1.3, which will be released on June 1st, where I'm sitting, I believe that's in 5 days, Sunday, something like that, maybe 6 days? I can't math. And for anyone who has never seen this game before, I want to commentate everything that's going on, so you get a feel for what Harmonia is, how it works, and hopefully some kind of vision of what it will be. So, here is a new map in the Tower War game. What is Tower War? Quite simply, you have a tower, they have a tower, go kill the other person's tower. It is that simple. This tower is a lot beefier than we are, at least relatively beefier. It has 100 health, as you can see from the little HUD in the corner. And to show off the map here, we can't see most of it because it's in the fog of war, but it's way over here. So, moving back, if we zoom way back in, you can see that this is actually quite a large map, at least large in terms of everything that's been in Harmonia so far. So, let's just kick this off. I'm playing this map with a few bots. I think there are 20 on my team and 23 on the opposing team, which makes it an even 23 versus 23. It's an odd number, I know. So, I am controlling 3 characters here, and as you can see 1, 2, and 3, and using the keyboard, I can switch between them, and I can also click on things using the mouse. That is left click, and I can give them orders using right click. I can also tell them to order, I can also order them to do something to anything in this target list here. For example, if I just right click on anything here, the default action will be follow. There's a little tooltip that's not showing up for whatever reason. And there's also a status window that just shows debug spam at the moment. We can move around using WASD. And if I press the super secret button, we can just move around using the mouse, and WASD moves the camera. So, I am going to join my teammates here and try to fight the other team back. So, what am I playing with? I have a Centaur Knight, who are bulky hitters. I have a Bird Soldier who is very fragile, does quite a lot of damage, and takes very little damage from magic. So he's good as a kind of fly behind the back ranks and hit a magician kind of class. And of course, this guy with the bow is an archer, and he does what you would expect an archer to do. So I am in a dark cavern. On this particular map, this is just one of the many routes that you can go, and hopefully I think I'll just let myself die here if this doesn't go as planned, but hopefully, if we defeat all of the enemy forces in here, we will come out at the enemy base. This is kind of a shortcut in this particular map to the enemy base. So, moving on. Let's see. I've hit F to tell all of my characters to follow, so I'm going to do my best to get around these guys. So they are, of course, the blue team, they are hitting the red team, and this little red junk that you're seeing everywhere is a combat area. And everything in the combat area is a lot slower than it would be normally, and you operate in turns rather than just simply moving all over the place. So in the combat area, it turns into a real-time strategy game, where everyone has a blue meter that determines when their turn is. And, as you can see, it charges up very slowly. Everything is, I believe, running at 1/5 the speed of the game. One of my characters died, he's already back at base. If I were to scroll back over there, you can see that there he is, at the respawn location. But, I don't care about him, so let's just follow this battle over here. I'm going to let my character Cyndaval C just run on by, and him being a centaur, he should be relatively speedy, although he doesn't do very well in rough terrain, because horses just kind of run like that, no pun intended. And here we are, we made it, and as a matter of fact, the blue tower is not defended at all. How convenient for us. Well, it is a little defended, I guess that's a lie. But not by much. So, our Bird Soldier is taking the quickest path that he can to go and attack the tower. And I got lucky here. Normally you find several bots who are here defending, but for whatever reason, this go around they decided, to hell with defense, we're just going to go on and bum rush the other team. So I'll probably find most of them here in the middle. So this path in the middle, there are several ways you can go. Sorry, some debug information right there. And everything goes through swamp for the most part. Whoa, that's a new pathfinding bug. And in the swamp, we move incredibly, ridiculously slowly. Wow, I'm actually going to just completely destroy their team because I caught them off guard. This has never happened, so this is kind of interesting to see. Usually I get there and there's 5 bots there just waiting to jack me. And how is the tower doing? I can monitor it from down here. I think one of my characters died, but you know what? We are just going to go on. Okay, 5 damage. It's going to take only a few hits more. If my teammates were smart, they would probably come here and join me, but they are not that smart. Nevertheless, I am good all by my own. Let's just in the chat here. Yeah. Red wins in your face. If you were wondering, this is a completely online game, and I just happen to be playing with bots because that's how I've been doing most of my testing so far. It's closed at the moment. You can download the latest alpha version at our website, which is in the link description. At least it should be if I remember to do it. But I guess this version will be available in 5 days. Yeah, you know what? Completely disregard what I said about it being closed. It's open. You can download it. You can play it. But this is in the pre-alpha stages, meaning everything is changing often, and the new versions often have rather significant changes in it. For example, a lot of this interface did not exist in the previous version. It did, but it was a lot worse. It's got a nice facelift, and there have been a ridiculous amount of performance increases. So maps like this are possible, which it really wasn't before. But now everything runs nice and spick and span. Nice and spick and span. Yeah, it's really clean. That doesn't make any sense. Everything is running quickly. If it seems like the video is running slow, let's see how fast it's running. 22 frames per second. Framps is, of course, capping it at 30. And I also have a relatively low-end video card. So that means if you have a low-end video card, you are in luck because this game should run just fine. At least I hope so. This is a low-end video card, so not bottom of the barrel, but I have to run Fallout 3 or Skyrim, for example, with lowest settings possible to get something that's decent. At least decent to me. Okay, so I've been kind of failing in the commentary aspect. There are 8 classes in the game. Right now, I am still using my original Dream Team. I think actually some of them died and respawned, but nevertheless, I have an Archer, I have a Knight, I have a Bird Soldier. And over here is a Priest. He will be healing us, and he looks like a little monster because he's a bot. That's one way you can distinguish the bots from the players. I'm a human, they are not. And this is a Monk, where, well, he died. But monks are tanky units that use magic that are weak against magic. So, like the Bird Soldier, they have this funny role where they're weak against themselves. And they fill an important role in being a class that can go head-to-head with a beefy tank and use magic against them and come out alive. Likewise, the Bird Soldier fills the opposite role, going head-to-head against a Magician, and the Magician really has nothing to do, but the Bird Soldier can just attack them and take them out with no problem whatsoever. I keep accidentally hitting that. That's going to go away relatively soon. Just going to show this off. You can rotate the camera at your leisure. At your leisure. I believe it was like that. Excuse me, coughing directly into the mic. I wasn't paying attention, so my team just suffered a horrible defeat. And you know what? I've actually tweaked the map since the last time I played it, so I'm going to play until I get a victory. That's my goal here. Number of bots offending. This is a percentage from 100% to 0. Just kind of a clunky little interface thing that will be fixed eventually. This says how many bots by default will be defending the tower, and I had it very low before because the respawn location was at the exact same location as the tower, so there really wasn't that much need to defend. And you know what? I would rather play on the blue team this time. I very rarely... Oh, it means I need to adjust the bots too. Don't mind me as I just futz around the interface and fail at absolutely everything. Okay. 21 to 24 bots. Excellent. So, as seems to be fair, I'm going to join the losing team. We are now on the blue side. How fun. I am going to... If I were smart, I would coordinate with my team, but I'm just going to bum rush here into the center of the map and fight who I can. So if you look at the characters, my screen name is Cyndaval, and of course I have Cyndaval A, B, and C. Those are my 3 little warriors. And there's a little 5 next to their names. What this 5 means is that I have 5 respawns left until I am at my weakest point, at which point I still respawn, but the respawn time is pretty nuts. And with each subsequent death, I respawn a little weaker, and I have... hi, Skype. Or was that aim? I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure I muted that, so that's frustrating. With each subsequent death, I'm a little weaker, and I have a little less health, and my respawn time goes up until this number reaches 0, in which case I'm not that much weaker, but my respawn time is really extreme. So, the goal is always... Who is that here? Yeah, this is what I wanted to do. The goal is always not to just simply take out the tower, but to attempt to weaken the enemy team at the same time. Cough break. Just pulled a Tazon Day over here, moving away from the mic. And if I were paying more attention, it's kind of difficult to commentary and play at the same time, at least for me. If I were paying more attention, I would be really coordinating who was attacking who, because there are all these different relationships. So, obviously this is a gigantic battle, and it's very hard to tell what's going on. What's important is that the characters that are green here are mine. The characters that are blue, like, I'm talking about the outlines here, green crosshair and blue crosshair. Blue are allies, and... Oops. Cough, cough, cough. Blue are allies, and green are characters that we can control. So normally I would get my characters that died at base back into the battle, back into the fray, but I'm just going to let him die so I can go back into a more defensive role with everyone at home. So there's Cyndaval C. He was too beautiful for this world. So based on this little red thing, we can see that there's a battle going on. Unfortunately, our noble characters are blocking the way, so we can't really see what's going on. But that's also a nice strategy, because that means they can't get in. Kind of bottlenecks them in, and... Oh dear, we are just getting attacked at the front. So, my priest has a smite ability, and I'm going to use that against the warrior, because warriors have very little magic defense. The warrior is the big horned guy with the axe. My bird soldier should find a magician to attack, and there it is over there. And my archer should attack what is weakest physically, which is also the magician. I need to get in the habit of drinking water as I record these things. As one would expect, my priest can heal. Excuse me. I'm actually drinking red wine instead of water. As you would expect, my priest can heal. And there he goes. I can just right-click on whoever I want to heal, hold it, and then heal is the little option on the right. So I release, and then he goes to heal. Let's see. I seem to be driving them back because all of my team, for whatever reason, has somehow ended up here at the front. Let's just take out the priest. Now this is, admittedly, a bit hectic. Pathing bug. Pathing has been completely overhauled over the last weekend, so there are still a few bugs to work out. I'm still trying to play until I get a victory. That is the rule. My glowing characters here are ones that have not yet received an order. So if I'm constantly monitoring my 3 characters over here, the ones that are glowing blue, like that guy, it's pretty noticeable, are characters that are just sitting there idle. So they're saying, please, please give me an order. I'm oh so good and oh so strong. Let's take a look at our team here. I'm looking at their death status. Not too bad. It looks like red team is not doing so terribly either. This is, I'm going to admit, the absolute first test, well, today I should say. Today is the first day of testing with a map that has so many things fighting at once. So I'm not used to this level of excitement. And I can imagine for anyone who has never seen this before, this is absolutely nuts. But, I find it fun. I'm happy to report that we seem to be driving the red team off. They are constantly invading us, but... Let's see, can my priest do anything useful? Priest, you might as well heal him. He's way over there. You know what? No. Attack that guy. I have the upper hand here because I have ranged units, and these characters are fighting on a bridge that my characters can either attack from a distance or fly around. Obviously it's not a bridge as in it's going over water, but it's going over swamp, which has an absolutely insane movement penalty. I do not like that I see a red box over here, so I'm going to see if they are attacking the tower. Looks like sure enough they are. We've suffered a little bit of damage. Now, it seems like I'm in constant defense mode, but one thing to consider, while I am defending, they are actually taking quite a beating because they're just sending all of their characters into this meat grinder. And even if they manage to little by little whittle down the tower, their team is going to be so weak by the end of this that our team can probably just go all the way over to their base and just completely steamroll them. And because the spawn is not where the tower is, that means if we attack the tower, we won't expect reinforcements there immediately. So, all is going well. I'm trying to target the priest here because not only are they the squishiest, but magic-wise, they are the strongest. Oh god, Sinvalcy just died. Something just absolutely pummeled him beat him into a pulp. So, typically, I opt to have priest use the smite spell, which is their magic attack, because it's quite powerful, but it can only be used immediately next to a character, immediately next to a target, which puts them in quite a vulnerable spot. Sup, chat? I think that's Pigeon. Okay. So if we look at their team, 2, 2, 3... Yeah, they are taking quite a lot of damage here. And the more we defeat them, the slower they will come, and... Oh wow, someone made it over here. That's not good. This is still a relatively, well, by relatively I mean brand new. This is still a brand new map, so... It could be that the tower is actually way too vulnerable, which is difficult to say without doing a lot of different tests and having a lot of different playthroughs. Could be that it simply needs twice as much health. Difficult to say. What would be a shame is if the winning strategy was simply to always bum rush the tower and see if you come out ahead. But I am going to see if I can do any damage to them. While they're bringing the fight back home, I'm going to sneak behind enemy lines and The bots aren't especially smart. They do their best. I'm going to attack this guy because now my archer is stuck. The coughing is never stopped. My archer cannot get over this bridge because this enemy is blocking his way. So, I have a little positional disadvantage here, and I'm forced to engage or have him go all the way around the swamp, which is something I do not want to do. So, we are going to move on. Whoops. So, now that everyone is across the bridge, now I can engage in glorious combat. What I do not want to have... Oh, wow, he's about to die. What I do not want to have happen is... I don't want to send my entire team over here, and while we're just kind of whittling the enemy forces down, they attack the tower. The bots are not, at the moment, smart enough to really know, hey, we need to defend because our base is under attack. But, fortunately for us, it seems like they are actually taking quite a beating, and they have nobody here. All of their characters, as far as I can see, have 0 lives left. I'm at 3, 4, and 3. This guy is at 0. He's not doing so great. But while they are busy... Is the free spell here? Zap! Blaze is actually stronger. While they are busy at home, we're just going to win. And victory! Hooray! Blue team wins. Everyone explodes, and back at base, you have to manually do that at the moment. Doesn't just lock your camera back to your spawn position, which is kind of silly. So, that is it for Harmonia Tower War. The new version, once again, version 1.3, will be available June 1st. In 6 days, 5 days, something like that. Today is Monday. Whatever day makes it the 1st from today, I don't know. Let's just pick a number. At 11 days from now, there'll be a new version out. Should feature some new Tower War stuff. I'll just show you a little clip of the other map. Everything is still kind of mystic because, again, this is a pre-alpha version, so there's a lot of polish that needs to be done in regards to the UI. This is a ridiculous amount of bots for this map. Here's another Tower War map, which is quite fun. Hard to see it while it's dark, admittedly. But, this one is relatively simple. There's 2 lanes you can go, a river down the middle, that sends you right into the enemy tower, which is, well, as the other map, perfectly symmetrical. Cheesetopia is here. Battle Arena is here, which is quite fun. It's just an endless go fight stuff until you die sort of thing. Each wave of monsters has 1 more than the last. And unlike the other versions of the game, this one has an inventory that you need to manage. So, I took out that goblin. Copper Freeze Ankh. Anything useful? Oh, Copper Freeze Ankh is much better than a wooden rod. He has a cardboard rapier, which I'm just going to give you a hint. It's really bad. And because everything he has is made of cloth and or cardboard, she rather knows the breasts. We are going to pimp her out. Round 2. Here we should fight a tiny little puddling and another monster. A centaur. And so it goes. With each round you get 1 new character, up to 4. Every character that dies stays dead. And in the next round you will get 1 new character. So, if you can lose only 1 character per round, you can pretty much stay afloat. This one also has a leveling system. The characters gain experience, get stronger as they go. I have an ogre who joined my force. His name is Gayan, German word to go. He is on the move, I assume. Let's attack the slime. Does he have any magic? He does not. Alright, getting a bit sidetracked here. So, that is it for Harmonia 1.3. Hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned, June 1st. I will see you then. Bye.